You were taught that prehistoric humans were primitive, scattered, peaceful tribes living simple lives. But what if that was a lie? What if 3,000 years ago, Europe saw a brutal war, massive, organized battle that left no survivors, ... A battlefield lost for millennia, until now. Welcome to the Tollense Valley, northern Germany, where archaeologists uncovered the remains of over 130 warriors, brutalized, broken, and buried beneath the river's mud. This is the bloodiest prehistoric war in European history, and it changes everything we thought we knew about ancient warfare. Stay with us to uncover the secrets of this ancient massacre. And subscribe to Decoding History and Science, where forgotten truths rise again. The accidental discovery in 1996. A local man stumbled upon a human arm bone protruding from the muddy banks of the Tollense River. Strange, disturbing. He alerted authorities. At first, they assumed it was modern, perhaps, from World War II, but carbon dating revealed something astonishing. This bone was over 3,000 years old. That single discovery led to a full archaeological excavation that would go on for over 2 decades. What they unearthed next would shock the world of archaeology. A battlefield frozen in time as archaeologists dug deeper, the evidence mounted. Skulls shattered by blunt force, arrowheads lodged in bones, broken swords, bronze weapons, and wooden clubs. This wasn't a burial site, it was a battlefield. Bodies were found in disarray, scattered across a 2-kilometer stretch of the river valley. The corpses weren't buried, they had fallen in battle, and were preserved by the river's oxygen-poor mud. To date, over 12,000 human bone fragments have been discovered, belonging to more than 130 individuals, mostly young men, aged 20 to 40. But this was no tribal skirmish. This was organized warfare. Isotope analysis, which studies the minerals in teeth and bones, revealed that many of the fighters came from hundreds of kilometers away. Some likely hailed from southern Germany, Poland, or even Scandinavia. They had traveled far, likely as part of a trained fighting force. They carried standardized weapons, including bronze-tipped spears, swords, and shields, suggesting a military hierarchy. This level of organization was previously thought impossible for Bronze Age Europe. So, ... who were they, and why were they here? The mystery of the battle, what sparked the battle in the first place, we may never know for sure, but the timing offers clues. Around 1250 BCE, Europe was undergoing massive social and economic changes. Trade networks stretched from the Mediterranean to the Baltic. Bronze, a prized material, was at the center of this global system. The Tollense Valley lay along a key trade route, the prehistoric highway of sorts. Were these warriors trying to control that route? Were they hired soldiers, raiders, or perhaps an alliance of smaller tribes defending their homeland? Whatever the motive, one thing is clear: this battle was planned, strategic, and deadly. Weapons of bronze and brutality. The weapons found are among the earliest examples of mass bronze warfare in Europe. Bronze swords designed for slashing and stabbing, clubs with carved handle stools of brute force, arrows still embedded in ribs and skulls, and even wooden clubs reinforced with flint. The variety suggests different factions or units, each with its own combat style. Some fighters bore evidence of healed wounds, indicating they were veterans of past battles. This was no one-time conflict. It was a culture of war. No survivors, no mercy, perhaps the most chilling aspect. No evidence of survivors. The wounds were brutal. One man had both femurs crushed, likely by trampling. Others had skulls caved in. Some showed signs of being executed after capture. This wasn't just a battle, it was a slaughter. Whoever lost, lost everything. And the victors, they left no trace. No ceremonial burials, no looted remains, just bones in the mud, forgotten for 3,000 years. Rewriting European history until the Tollense discovery, many believed that prehistoric Europe was a peaceful place dominated by small, isolated tribes. But this battlefield suggests otherwise. This was large-scale warfare with trained fighters, strategic movement, and territorial control. It reveals a Europe far more connected and violent than we ever imagined. Some scholars now argue this battle could be part of a larger conflict, a precursor to the collapse of Bronze Age civilizations that would follow across Europe and the Mediterranean. It wasn't just a forgotten fight, it was a turning point in human history. Echoes from the mud today, the Tollense battlefield remains one of the most important archaeological sites in Europe. Yet so much remains buried waiting to be uncovered. Thousands of bones, dozens of weapons. Untold secrets. This single site tells us that human conflict, strategy, and ambition have shaped our history for far longer than we realized. And maybe, just maybe, there are more forgotten wars waiting under the earth. The truth about prehistoric life isn't what we were taught. It wasn't simple, it wasn't peaceful. It was human, violent, strategic, and real. We are only beginning to understand the depth of our past, and this is just the beginning. If you're fascinated by ancient secrets, brutal history, and forgotten truths, subscribe to Decoding History and Science. Hit that like button, share this video, and leave a comment. Do you believe more ancient battles like this are still hidden? Until next time, keep questioning the past, because it's not as far away as it seems.